Welcome back to a cast game of Age of Mythology Retold. Today we've got 3DB playing as Ra up against Miniyeti, who is going to be playing as Odin. Well, actually, it's absolutely not Miniyeti, just to be clear. So he's going to be playing Odin. When the game first came out, Odin was definitely the strongest civ. We've seen a lot of others coming out in the meta recently, but one thing has stayed pretty common. Ra has not been doing so good. But despite that, we've seen B playing Ra a lot. You know, I've been a Ra main, and boy, I just want to see him win one game. I literally don't know if I've casted a single Ra game where there hasn't been a win. And it's not that I'm not looking. I go into these blind each time, and it's what you get. So this could end up good, could end up bad. I don't know. But secretly, I'm probably going to be rooting for B a little bit on this one. Sorry, Miniyeti. We'll get you in the next one, but we'll see who wins. Today, we're going to be playing out on Savannah. Taking a look at the relics on the map on the north side, we've got Trojan Gate Hinge, which will increase wall hit points. We have the Eye of Ornlu, which will increase the attack of counter infantry units. Be really nice for those axemen for Egypt when you're up against Norse. The Tusk of the Iron Boar increases cav hit points. Odin definitely probably would want to get that one. Usually leans into those raiding cavalry. And then you have Rhea's Crown. Town and village centers cost less and generate favor. So some pretty nice relics out on the map. Honestly, quite all those are pretty good. Let's take a look at the line of sight so you can see what is going on here. And let's see what B is doing. So he's out here building these obelisks. Now, they don't get the discount like you see ISIS players get. But we've seen Ra players recently going for this. Now, this is a little different than Legacy. In Legacy, you typically would have had your priest at home empowering. But thanks to the arrow improvement of the monument, you don't see that all the time. Now, look at this. B actually microing his pharaoh. He used the pharaoh to empower the gold at first, stack a little bit of that early gold for those first few obelisks. And he's not opting for the area empowerment on the monument of soldiers. Instead, he's going for the granary. Now, the reason why, and look at him microing in between. This is really interesting. Man, I'd love to ask him his thoughts about how he decides to go about this. He's even pulling off of gold to go to food. So he's going to get a really fast age up. I haven't tried this. I usually leave him on gold, but I like this. I like this. He's going to get a really quick age up on this. He does need to build his temple, which he has not yet. But anyways, the area empowerment, when you empower the monument, is at a reduced rate. So that's why you see him directly going to the granary, microing his villagers around. He just got enough gold to get his temple, and then he pulled off here. So he'll be aging up roughly just after the 3-minute mark. Now, I will say, I've been playing a lot of Ra, and you can pretty much leave your pharaoh on the monument to villagers, leave those villagers on gold and food, and probably hit a very similar timing here. So I'm not entirely sure the trade-off. I'd have to test it out. But it's going to be aging up nonetheless, and it's going to be with Ta today, which will be given access to that Wadjet, as well as Shaduf for those cheaper farms, and you'll also have access to the Shifting Sands God Power. Now, on the other side, Miniyeti also hitting an age up, and he's going to be aging up with Freya. No surprise there. Be given access to the Valkyrie. We'll see some forest fire, etc., stuff like that. Now, let's look at a little bit of the map here to see where perhaps he'll expand for his next hunts. Particularly, you see Norse pretty nomadic in many situations. Ra maybe more tending to move to farms, but I don't think we'll see farms here today, at least early on. Okay. Miniyeti here's on his first hunt. He's got chickens, he's got berries at home. Looks like we have baboons up to the north side, and then we have giraffes in the corner. So that's probably the potential expansions we might see him go for with his villagers next. Now, in my previous games I've casted, I've seen B, he loves to play a super scrappy H2 play style. He likes to build just like, literally, I think the last time he made 11 barracks. So I would not be surprised if we see that again. Now, why is he canceling his granary? Was that an accident? Oh, did he do it so it'd get in? I almost wonder if it was out of range and he moved it in so it'd be close enough for the monument area. I think that's what he did. But yeah, we saw him have 11 barracks last time. We'll see if he does that here again. And I've honestly inspired me to just play like a super scrappy age 2 infantry spam myself. So we'll see what B he does here today. Elephant's going to be going down as the villagers target that. That thing's got 750 food available. So obviously a great food source for the Norse as he expands out to the middle of the map. We thought maybe he might go for these other two, but a lot better going for one big elephant than like walking around all these different baboons. You got to stop and shoot them every time. It's going to be a lot less efficient than gathering at that one elephant. a market going down the southwest side for B. Could this be for an early age up? Or is he just getting it down there early? I know for me, I'll have one village just build all the houses, build an armory, build a market. I just do it every time, regardless if I'm trying to age right up. Now, I like how he left room for his farms if he does go for a farm transition. If you see here, you can tuck those in around the town center. You might say, well, that monument gets in the way, but you got to also think about the fact that, you know, for the area empowerment that this monument provides, you want to build it like right by your town center so it's central to all your resources in many situations. We saw Valkyrie going in for raid, didn't get anything there, and it does look like it's going to be a great haul back at home. So Miniyeti, he's got a great haul, likely some cav, maybe hero spam, but mostly cav, I would imagine. Valkyrie, though, getting hit by the Wadjet, taking a lot of damage early on. Let me force back into his base. And one thing I like about playing Ra like this is everyone expects Ra to be playing defensive, right? They expect that you're going to be in the defensive situation, that you can make cav, run around, like give them all the raids. But when you play Ra like this, it forces the opponent into a defensive situation. When you think about that, like, oh crap, if he finds these, like that will drastically alter his economy, right? 7 villagers at the ground food. If he finds that, and maybe his opponent caught a little bit off guard, that maybe he'd be going for a fast age 3, or perhaps be doing some kind of farms or 2 TC build. So I really like the agency here, but it does look like Throwing Axeman moving up, trying to pick off the Axeman before taking this engagement. Going to get several hits there. We see the priest able to provide some healing. I watch it. Being rather impactful. Nice micro out of that. He even heals it up. Will it survive? It does go down, but not before doing a lot of damage on that backline. I think Miniyeti will clean up the rest of this fight, as we see more Egyptian troops moving in. Down he goes. Okay, so a good victory for Miniyeti. And he's probably feeling good about that. 2 long houses as he gets that done. We also got a great haul as well. A lot of dwarves back there on the gold and wood as far as his macro goes. You can always check out the macro at the top of your screen here. Okay, so we've got the Egyptians push back. Whoa, a sliding wedge. Push back to his base. There we go. Farms are now in transition. Now let's see if he got the upgrade. He in fact did. So when you go up with Ta, give you access to Shadoof. You can research this. Costs wood in favor. And it makes your farms cost literally half as much and build faster. So a nice upgrade to have. You can see him using this farm transition, and he'll likely be using this rain here to boost his food efforts. So looking at the gold, we're looking at Odin sitting here with 1,055 gold. So he's really got a lot of gold in the bank. Might want to consider remacroing some of these dwarves. You want to keep dwarves on gold, but you know, he might at this point maybe remacroing them, or he could build a market, buy some food, whatever he wants to do with it. But you typically don't want to float all those resources. We see the raiding cap taking out the obelisk. Let's look at the line of sight that B now has. And we see rain being cast right now. That's going to be improving those farm rates. Where is it? Right there. There you go. Your villagers gather the fastest. So it's going to actually help all villagers, I guess, technically. Is this the only god power that also helps your enemies, I guess, technically? I think Eclipse is global as well as far as myth units go. I'm not entirely sure, though. Okay, so Wadjet, always a nice option for defending as well as slingers. You can sit here by your towers. Anytime you get close, take some shots with the Wadjet, take some shots with the slingers. It'd be nice. So B going for a farming build. I said I'm not sure if we would see farming here today. I'm not sure if this was in the original game plan or if this was just a result of being pushed back into his base. But certainly keeps your army safe when there's raids going on. Meanwhile, Miniyeti doubling down, making more cav. An armory coming in kind of indicates he might be going for an age up. Perhaps it's just also just for upgrades. Ra looking like he could age up, but needs a lot of gold. And this is where Egypt gets really vulnerable. Once he runs out of this first gold vein, he has to go either to here, which we've got a Raven watching, here, or off to the side right here where we're seeing. Now, a little surprising Miniyeti isn't kind of hovering around these raiding with cav. He's pretty much letting him expand. I mean, he's got a few spearmen, but up till now it was mostly just slingers. And I almost feel like the raiding cav could have perhaps held his position, prevented this expansion. But B is going to get it online. And now he's making sure he knows, like, okay, raiding cav could be coming out here. I mean, making only slingers is fine when you're hanging under your TC. But now he's expanded. Needs to make sure he's got a little more army. Now, army count 60 versus 62, very even right now, and there might be a clash here coming up in open field. Did he get any upgrades? He did. He got his first attack upgrade. Sees the army, gonna micro this back. Not sure if he wants to take this one, but Spearman on the front line. Spearman having the best speed out of all of the Egyptian infantry units. That's why you see a lot of Spearmen spammed in many situations. Slingers are particularly good against range, so he's targeting down that back line, brings his Spearman back to deal with the Cav. Now, Cav's going to be good against the Slingers, but I think the Egyptian army is doing a pretty good job of countering a lot of this out. Yep, a lot of Spearmen are going to be hard counting this Cav. The Axemen are throwing Axemen down, and B is going to be able to clean this one up, looking like a really good fight for him, and he should feel good about this. He secured his gold. I mean, this is the point you start to consider, okay, do we age up? I just took out the enemy's army. He can either double down on units, or he can decide to save up. Hey, let's go up to the heroic age while my enemy kind of stutters, tries to get back into this. Okay, Great Hunt is used. I'm not sure where he used it. I think he used it down there, or maybe up north on the baboons. Hard to tell. So duplicating animals, and we look at this, Miniyeti making it very clear what his objective is. That's a lot of military buildings. He is not going to be going up to age 3 anytime soon here. So a lot of military production buildings. He's trying to get units back online as B looks to perhaps try to capitalize this with a little raiding. Now, one thing I would say would like to see from B is Spearmen have pretty nice speed. You can just peel off 2 or 3 of them and go run around to the different hunts or the different golds. Like this potentially. This would shut down a lot of the production of Miniyeti, right? Losing 7 villagers on food could be good, but he's got his eyes set on that south-northeast side. Now, don't forget, he's got shifting sands available, so should he get caught in a weird spot, as you know the Norse army's growing, he could just shift back across the map or something else. And now we do see him doing what I just mentioned, using his spearmen, scout around, figure out where those eco units are and causing some problems, and it's going to be happening on the southeast side. I would not be surprised if we see a shifting sands here next out of this, or he could just run right past the town center. We will see. Okay, going to be retreating as the Norse army gets closer. Boy, I hope he uses shifting sands because he's going to be in trouble here. Lots of berserks as well. Look at that, 15 berserks. You see forest fire used back at home. A little bit of raid on that gold. He does have spearmen close by. I think it avoids most of the damage that might have happened there, but perhaps distracted as his army gets engaged by the berserks, and Miniyeti is going to be cleaning this up. A decisive victory over there. Maybe a little bit of a distraction tactic on the front line. B did not pull the trigger and use the shifting sands to teleport his army. And Miniyeti going to be looking to be in a pretty nice spot, I'd say. And especially now, he's going for a second TC expansion. So we're going to have 2 TCs coming up. Also build small wall segments to give him a little bit of space now. It'd be nice if he maybe partitioned off some of this gold. Especially, it can also deny the Egyptians of their gold as well. You got to always consider. And we see the Egyptian army just kind of standing guard on the gold. I mean, they got to keep access to this gold. Everything the Egyptians make costs gold, and you can't get cut off or you're going to be in big trouble. He is going to be expanding down to the south side. Is he going to go for a TC of his own? It almost looks like he is considering it, but I think he might be just going for his gold. Can I see it with a line of sight? He's definitely over town center. Okay, so he goes for a town center of his own. That's going to be 2 town centers for 3DB, and going to bring along a priest as well to empower. So both these players maybe getting a little bit fed up with the back and forth fighting of H2, going to spend some time to invest in their infrastructure and their economy. B, once again, casting rain, and look at this, the Egyptian economy. Look at all his farms. This is looking really, really nice for B. Look at this beautiful, beautiful farms. Good looking farms. Man, I love it. The Egyptian base just looks so nice. Let's just appreciate just how pretty this game is. I mean, when you got a rainbow going on here, we got a little glimmer here and all the empowerment. They did such a good job making Age of Mythology. I always say is like, I know this is the newer version, the retold version, but like someone who played this as a kid, like it just looks like what you thought the game looked like back in the day. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you guys share the same thing if you used to play this game too. Is like, it's just like, this is how it always looked, right? It's how it felt. So it's fun to see the game, brought back to the standards we remember. But look at this, Miniyeti hitting age 3. B could be in trouble. Walking Woods getting complete surrounding his army. This might not go so well. Those mountain giants will be absolutely ferocious. He doesn't have any priests to help take that down, and the Walking Woods on the flank on his slingers. Now, the only thing B does have going for him is this was just a huge, massive units. but I'm not sure it's going to matter. As you see here, some of those upgrades coming in right now. We got Heavy Berserk, and Miniyeti is cleaning this up. Oh my gosh, I was hoping we were going to see a raw victory today. This is making me nervous. Look at the score dip, 13K versus 18K. Boy, Miniyeti making a statement there with that fight. That really showing you the power spike of the heroic age in the Age of Mythology. If you think about like Age of Empires 4, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 3, right? When you hit the next age, Age of Mythology is perhaps one of the most impactful because of those god powers. You know, you're going to instantly cast, instantly get a flank. Now, AoE 3 has some similar mechanics, undoubtedly borrowed from AoM. And when you hit the next age, you get some different stuff, right? Whether it's resources or units and popping out and stuff like that. So it's kind of similar. But I would say Age of Mythology, the power spike of when you hit age 3 is just very, very big. It could be a big swing. I mean, in that case, enough for him to take that fight decisively. But giving time. B, of course, no slouch when it comes to military production. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks back at home, so he's gonna be able to repop his army pretty quickly. So it's a little bit interesting that Miniyeti being a little bit hesitant. He's taking his time though. Pro players typically they take their sweet time. He's gonna build the infrastructure, not gonna overdo it on a big fight that maybe he won't win. We do see a farming upgrade coming in for B right now. I'm sorry, that's for Miniyeti. Perhaps could be making a farm transition, but there we go. The Norse army has a lot of berserks, but they're kind of caught out. A second forest fire cast going to be forcing Egyptian players to retreat. Could that be enough to get in position? We now have enough priests to target that backline. Those walking woods being taken down by the priests. The slingers, of course, going to be good against just about everything. Thanks to these electrum bullets, going to be giving some additional attack. We'll see what happens when the dust settles here. We see got a lot of military production for the Norse. As you see, he's been building a forward supply line, but his army depleted quite a bit. But able to hold that front line for now. But looking at the count, look, 82. He's got so many units just like re-popping here really, really quickly. So not going to be a victory there in that engagement. We've got a few axemen, of course, which are just hard counters against these berserks. They're good. They're counter infantry, and he's also got all the upgrades that come along with them. I wonder if B will go to the next age, or if he's going to stick to this kind of spam of infantry units in the second age, which kind of feels like more his style. I feel like that's what we're perhaps going to see. Up on the north side, Miniyeti going to be going for a third town center expansion. That'll, of course, give him more military population, or just total pop. But look at this, 190 pop for B. He's definitely keeping the better numbers right now, just kind of a flood of Egyptian units. I'm not sure the mass berserk is going to be the answer to this. Going to get countered pretty hard by the axeman. Granted, he is these are heavy berserk, and he is starting to get some of his heroic age upgrades. But will it be enough? We'll see. As you see, this is what I'm talking about. These axemen going to be very good at countering this army. Miniyeti probably not playing the best counters game here. Okay, we do see a third farm coming in right now, and look at this. The Egyptian eco just continues to barrel forward. Miniyeti with the age advantage, depleting B's army several times, but B's been able to just bounce back, continue to spam units, and now that he sits on all that military production, this could start to be a really big problem. He does have 3 town centers, but if he cannot get the military to quell this Egyptian, these forces, it's not going to matter. And B, going to be building some more obelisks so he can get some line of sight, what's going on in the area, what's moving in. Now, Miniyeti has targeted his own longhouses for his rally points, so they're rallying directly into the buildings. One thing about Egyptian infantry, they're not very good at taking out buildings quickly. As you see here, they were wheeling on those. They took barely a scratch. You really kind of got to get to the third age, maybe get yourself some siege, and maybe we're going to be seeing that an age up with Sobek. My favorite minor god. We'll see some laser crocodiles. We'll see some locust swarm, which is maybe one of the worst god powers in the game, and some other fun stuff. Okay, so back on the way. You know, I hate to say it, but lately I've been cheating on Sobek because I like the additional infantry upgrades you can get if you go up with. Okay, I'm blanking right now. We gotta look it up because I gotta know it. It's oh yeah, it's a segment, because you know how this is the upgrade I'm talking about, Slings of the Sun for your slingers. I really like going up a segment personally, especially if you're gonna go to an infantry heavy build like this. Okay, so Miniyeti popped out all his berserks. I thought that might be his chance to hold this, but Still not going to get the job done. It does look like B going to be doing pretty nice job of holding this, sitting on top of all of that production. Here comes the Walking Woods. Could that be enough? Now you got to consider there are 1, 2, 3, 4 priests in this fight this time. A little bit different than the last engagement we saw against the Walking Woods. And age 3 is here. B is in the heroic age. We've got a rock, and we do have the laser crocodile currently getting scooted along by some slingers. The Pacificers. Wait, what? Did he delete his rock? I think he deleted his rock. He did. He wanted additional military population. He decided the rock wasn't for him. F's in chat. The rock has experienced a deletion. Hate to see it. Priest going to be trying to take out those Walking Woods, and there we go. We got a locust right down the middle of the field. Will it be impactful enough? It looks like it's kind of a creeping barrage going up north, but as you can see, not doing a whole lot of damage. Taking out a house, maybe the first building I've ever seen locust kill. That house was such low HP. I'm going to get a little bit of damage on that Valkyrie, but largely not a major impact. But the Egyptians now, in the next stage, going to be having upgrades coming in. We got heavy spearmen, we got heavy axemen, we got our priests. Could this be enough to start to push his opponent back? A tight game so far, about the 20-minute mark. We do still have shifting sands available. I'm not sure if it's going to get used or not. We've seen farm cast 3 times. We've seen the Walking Woods cast multiple times, as well as forest fire. Okay, so the Egyptian infantry continuing to fight back against this blob. You know, they say that Ra is all about the Migdal and all those, you know, the chariot archers and camels, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 guys. This is what you do. You just play barracks. And I'm telling you, this seems to be the strongest thing that Ra can do. He's got a lot of farming coming in here back at home. It'd be nice to get that upgrade if he could grab it. And now B's looking like he's going to perhaps try to target some of these towns here on the side. The tricky thing is, like, okay, well, B's full pop, and he really doesn't have any siege. Is he going to make his siege works? Maybe add some in, or is he just going to go to the next stage? It's looking like both players perhaps are saving up for the next age, but they're also just like pop maxed, at least in the case of B. Okay, it's going to be going in there. Is he going to target that town there? It looks like he's going to be leaving it for now. Backline of horsemen and Valkyrie moving in.
Into you.
Gotta be careful.
Gary.
We got the Valkyrie trying to take out the laser crocodile. Looks like he's able to protect it with a little bit of micro. Very nice job there by B. And we see additional great hulls built. It really makes me think maybe he's going to lean into some Cav. And Cav doing an okay job here. The spearman numbers not as large as they once were. He's at a fair number of axemen, and remember the Egyptian units, they're specialists. So these axemen, they're counter infantry. They're not going to do anything versus Cav, at least not a whole lot. And we're looking at this. B is cleaning up this engagement pretty decisively, but maybe B just wanted the pop space because here come some siege towers. He's going to be looking to try to bring some siege to the battle, but he's going to need a front line to protect that, most certainly, especially since he's up against a full Cav army. Now B sees this. He could respond. He has tons of barracks. Remember, you can respond by just training a epic amount of spearmen. You see this tower is not doing very well. Up against melee, not going to be a good fight for them. Another town center is still up for grabs here on the northwest side. B probably wants to consider getting that for the additional military population. And we're going to see some Jarls being trained up for the Norse. Where are they? There they are. These are the heavy Cav. Great Jarls. Okay, gonna be going for a raiding party. Ooh, he just missed it. Imagine if he'd ran over here. That could have been a huge raid. What's he targeting right now? Looks like he's gonna be picking up a few spearmen, not a whole lot there. I think, oh, there was gold here, so he was checking it out. That's what he had seen on the mini-map. Doesn't find any villagers there. It feels like the spearmen are getting time to get in position. Is this raid perhaps gonna be squandered? It looks like Miniyeti, I think, had an advantage here. He does spot the gold. Can he micro it enough to pick off a few villagers? Stopping the gold line of the Egyptian. Very nice. Miniyeti with a huge raid right now on that gold supply line. Again, with Egyptians, you do not want to be cut off from your gold. He's also circling around, finding the other one. Miniyeti bringing the pain to the Egyptian economy. He does run right past it. Perhaps going to move on to the farming economy. Maybe we'll wrap back around. And there's his spearman. That back line has been trained up. Spearmen, of course, have pretty nice speed. So even if you're chasing out, throwing axemen, whatever it is, your opponent's retreating, spearmen are going to like that. They're going to come up there. They're going to get a little piece of you. We do see some raiding cav, but as the raiding cav get closer to the main base, the spearmen are reinforcing. That's gonna be a little hard fight. Locust gonna be cast again. Wow, what do you guys think about Locust? I've rated it as maybe the worst god power in the game, but I'm curious, is there ones that you guys perhaps think that's a little bit lower? We should do a god power tier list. I should do one. It's a lot of effort to put together one of those tier list generators. If anyone wants to make one, I'll happily go for it. Maybe we'll just have to take the time and make one ourselves. Okay, Miniyeti gonna hold that. Despite the Locust swarm, army is able to hold. And this could be anyone's fight at this point, guys. Half map's kind of been drawn right here. We do see some raiding coming in from the Norse. He's also looking to wall in the west side. Now, this could make a huge difference into later stages. If you can see, one distinct difference about Age of Mythology is you can have more population if you have more settlements. That's these town centers you build out here on these spots. So you see 206 population versus the 190 of B. That can make a huge difference in the long run. And right now he's grabbing another settlement as we speak. A lot of calf moving in. Slingers, though, pretty good against the backline of throwing axemen. And boy, I gotta say, this might be one of the best Raw games I've perhaps casted so far. Rather, he's not just dead already. He's hanging in here. Miniyeti, though, looking like this is his game to win. Hopefully he doesn't throw for the sake of you Miniyeti fans out there. We do see hill forts on the west side. He's building infrastructure up on both sides. Looks like he's not going to be making a settlement. I thought he was going to perhaps be building that. Take a look at the line of sight that you can see from these players. Here's B. He basically just sees what's around his base, and then he can see his little expansion here. Not really any movement into the opponent's territory. And if we look at Miniyeti, he's got a raven there. He's got building some longhouse down here. He's going for a raid there. He's got a little bit more activity on the map, not to mention he's got military production all across mid-map right now. Okay, so the Norse army trying to push through. B, though, continuing with the infantry onslaught. We've yet to see a Migdol be built, from what I can tell. I don't see one make it home. Now, what can really happen sometimes in these type of engagements is you just have to wait the Egyptians out. The reason I say that is, like, he's going to need to move out to these golds very, very soon. Engagement right now going on down here in the middle. This gold mine, less than half left. This one as well. So as those golds run out, his only option is to go towards middle. You can actually see Miniyeti has targeted one of the gold mines towards the mid-map on the northwest side of the map. Now, a lot of watches in the back line. There's been some talk about whether or not maybe the watch is actually a much better myth unit than we first expected. You can see B really leaning into those things. We got a lot of them. I think they're pretty nice. You got to have a front line to protect them, but if they can stay alive on the back, they can dish out a lot of damage with that poison. And you can see enough, actually, to hold this fight. I'm not sure that would have went quite right that. Miniyeti maybe needs some Yodi to take some shots at the back line with his ranged heroes. But isn't able to do so. Watch it actually be... There you go. He has one right there. There's a few of them. There's one. Thodor the Menace. Miniyeti, though. What? Absolutely not Miniyeti victory. B taps out. And you know what it is, guys? I think it's the gold starting to run low. He's starting to get hit here in the back line. You can see the score starting to drop down. And he just decided he is not going to be able to get it. Miniyeti with the Odin victory at kind of a moment I didn't quite expect. It was looking like perhaps B was starting to hold on, but it just was too much for him. Miniyeti once again taking the pain to 3DB and his Ra. Man, I want to see a Ra victory just once. Just once. But today is not going to be that day. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this casted game of Age of Mythology Retold. Leave me something down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this game. What do you want to see next? Or just tell me how much you love me. And as always, smash that sub button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Just make sure it's an odd number so you're still subscribed to the stream for plenty more FitzBro action. I've got a bunch of other casts, so if you're new to the channel, go scroll back, go check them out. We've got so many great games to see. And I hope you guys tune in for my next one as I upload every single day here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.